Subnautica starts with you crash landing in a burning life pod on the alien ocean planet 4546b. You're the only crew member to survive the Aurora crash and escape the alien planet. But what happened to the other life pods that left the Aurora? And which life pod had the most tragic death? The Aurora was shot down by the precursor quarantine enforcement platform while on a mission to find the Degassi, a ship that crashed on the same planet a decade prior to the events of Subnautica. The Aurora originally had 50 life pods on board, 25 on each side, but 25 were destroyed when it was attacked, and only 25 were launched. But only 10, including your own life pod, can be found in the game. What happened to the others? One theory says that some life pods drifted into the void, never to be seen again. Now for the 10 life pods and their stories. Life Pod 5 is a life pod you wake up in, which spawns somewhere in the safe shallows. Life Pod 2 is found in the dangerous northern blood kelp zone.
Flotation devices failed.
We're flooding. Evacuate.
Wait. I can reconfigure the O2 system to act as a bilge pump. Okay, good news. We're alive and we've stopped sinking.
Bad?
The oxygen's going to run out in 30 minutes and we're 500 meters down.
What do we do?
We'll have to use the remaining juice to send a distress call and build whatever gear we can. Then we find a way to the surface. This is Life Pod 2, coordinates attached. We're way past our safe depth and bleeding O2. We'll have to swim for the surface, but it's 500 meters straight up. We'll make for the rendezvous and keep you posted. Out.
Life Pod 2 had 2 survivors, CTOU and Berkeley. As the life pod sank, the survivors escaped and tried to swim to the rendezvous point on the floating island. Berkeley most likely died from either drowning or by a creature attack. CTOU made it to the island but was later killed by a Reaper Leviathan while trying to reach the Aurora for repairs. Either way, drowning or being eaten alive by a Reaper Leviathan sounds like a horrific, tragic death I do not want to experience. Life Pod 3 is found in the kelp forest.
You really think it'll carry 2 of us?
Your regular sea glide tows a mass of 80 kilograms at over 30 kilometers an hour. The power cellar rig to this one should double that.
You think there's something out there that's faster?
I'm sure. And that's assuming it doesn't overload 3 meters from the life pod.
You're calm about this.
I'm seeing the engineering problem. If I stop seeing the maths, I'll be terrified.
This is Life Pod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
They landed in a relatively safe area and decided to use a jerry-rigged sea glide to move their pod, but the device exploded and killed them both. So really their mistake led them to their own demise. Not a way I would like to die. Life Pod 4 is found in the crash zone.
To any Altera crew. Landed in area of significant alien activity. Encountered predators in the Leviathan class, highly aggressive. Spectroscope scanner assigned species designator Reaper. One specimen attempted to swallow the life pod, doing extensive damage in the process. Only viable option is to make for the safety of the Aurora crash site. I have retrieved a data box with the creature decoy and enough resources to fabricate a couple of them. The swim's longer than the decoy lifetime, but it should just be enough to keep them busy. If you don't find me on board the ship, presume I miscalculated. This is Life Pod 4. We've landed close to the Aurora. Flotation device is active, but we've got some big old fish in the water with us, and I don't know how long we're gonna last. We're close to the crash site, so bring radiation protection. 4 out.
The survivor landed in an area patrolled by aggressive Reaper Leviathans. They tried to distract the creatures with decoys, but as the PDA says, miscalculated and was destroyed by the Reapers. That would be a terrifying and horrific way to die. I do not want to die by a Reaper Leviathan. Life Pod 6 is found in the grassy plateaus.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board. Coordinates attached. We've landed a kilometer from the crash site, but there's radiation in between us and the rendezvous. Request immediate assistance. 6 out. What are you doing? You were gone so long. I thought you drowned. Put the flare down. I was going to try and attract someone's attention. That's not a distress flare. Stop waving it around like that. You'll catch the fuel line.
Life Pod 6, 2 survivors. 1 crew member, head of human resources, and 1 VIP passenger. The VIP passenger used a distress flare inside the pod, which then ignited the fuel line and exploded, killing them both. A very sad way to die from human error, but I can't imagine the kind of stress they were under. Life Pod 7 is found in the Crag field.
I've tried everything. The analysis circuits on the fabricator are fried. Can barely manufacture the most basic of materials. Want a battery? Here, have a children's toy. Need deep-sea diving equipment? Have some lab tech. Hungry? I'll turn that fruit into dust for you. I'm going forward with trial and error. I hit every button here has got to make something useful eventually. This is Life Pod 7. Coordinates attached. Pod is structurally sound, but the fabricator's bust. Requesting assistance. 7 out.
The fabricator in the pod broke, and they couldn't craft supplies. The life pod sank, and the survivor most likely died from either a creature like a bone shark, or from not being able to craft supplies and couldn't survive. Being killed by one of Subnautica's ocean monsters would be a horrendous way to die, but also dying from lack of food or water or supplies would also be a nightmare experience. Life Pod 12 is found in the bulb zone and is sunk to the ocean bed.
I'm not really a doctor. I know that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually resetting bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open? That's what the robots are for. Doctors these days read diagnoses off of computer readouts. For that, I'm perfectly qualified. But what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network? I'm bleeding. I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands. I run a self-scan and it tells me I've got skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I think I'm actually going to die down here.
There was one survivor, a medical officer Danby, who got infected with the Cara bacterium and was also injured by a creature like a warper. So he either died from being infected or from his wounds from the creature attack. I would not want to bleed out from a creature attack, but I also would not want to die from an infection. Life Pod 13 is found in the northwestern mushroom forest.
Life pod launch sequence initiated. Entering planetary atmosphere.
My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day my daily pleasures as I give to those who seek pleasures from me.
External temperature approaching critical levels.
Show me the path. In life, truth, and love for mine is the power. I am the one, on and off and on again.
Impact imminent.
Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done playing as this bundle of flesh. Return me.
High priority automated message from Aurora. Life Pod 13 coordinates attached. Life Pod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yoki Kassar. I said Kassar. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Send immediate burial detail.
Who was killed instantly on impact because the life pod's parachute failed to deploy. This might be the best way to go, just an instant death. Life Pod 17, found in the grassy plateaus stranded near a cave system.
Ozzy's log. It's the day of the crash. I don't know what the heck is happening. I'm scared and I'm not going outside. There are shadows in the water under the hatch, but I can't tell if they're rocks or aliens. And there's weird-looking caves nearby. The Aurora was carrying everything needed to build the phase gate. Mobile vehicle bays, bioreactors, propulsion cannons. It had a cinema. There was a zero-G gym. My cafe. I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
There was one crew member, Ozzy, which might seem like a safe place to land, but he was unfortunately next to a crab snake nest and was probably eaten alive. And crab snakes are terrifying, and it would be absolutely awful to be eaten by them. Life Pod 19, found in the deep, sparse reef, there was one survivor, Second Officer Keen.
Keen, this is Aurora. Come in.
This is Keen. Life pod detached to a cave planet fall in 30 seconds.
The computer has identified a landmass at the attached coordinates. I want you to regroup the crew there.
Understood, but
They are your responsibility now. Don't let them down.
Captain, you need to evacuate.
Negative. You'll need the ship in one piece if you're going to contact HQ on the long range. I'm attempting a controlled descent. Captain!
This is Officer Keane in Light Pod 19. The captain is gone. I have assumed command. The last thing the captain did was give me coordinates for dry land. We regroup 1.5 kilometers southwest of the crash site. Stay together and good luck. This message will now repeat.
Who successfully escaped his pod and reached the rendezvous point on the floating island. He later met up with CTOU from LifePod 2. However, he was later hunted and killed by warpers after he became infected with the Kara bacterium. That is not a good way to go. I think I would rather die from the infection than a warper. There were 9 tragic stories told by the survivors of the Aurora crash. But out of all of them, who was the most tragic? And what about Riley? Is his story the worst of them all?
Ready to launch on your command, Captain. Launch in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time capsule jettison.